Good Friday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window from this afternoon. And really not a bad day at all. Boy, we had a little bit of everything. It almost looked like an early spring day, which actually is our last winter day today, first day of spring tomorrow. And you can see kind of those spring looking clouds out there, right? With a little bit of blue sky, some darker clouds and mid-level clouds today, but it made for a beautiful shot from our Wenatchee Heights Sky-Fi Tower camera. And as we move through our 7-day forecast, as we head into this weekend, it will be a little bit breezy as we get into Saturday. Cooler too for both Saturday, Sunday, and into Monday. Another chance for some rain showers too on Sunday. That'll be late in the day, and then mostly sunny as we get into the first part and middle of next week and warmer with high temperatures near normal. And we'll have your complete weather forecast coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. A Wenatchee man charged last year with stalking his former spouse will spend a year in jail after pleading guilty to lesser offenses. One day after visiting Wenatchee's mass vaccination center, Governor Jay Inslee made 2 million more Washington residents eligible for COVID-19 vaccinations. And a $3 million economic development grant package has been awarded to the East Wenatchee Water District for a new pump station project. But first, our top story tonight. Despite a state Supreme Court ruling in February that threw out many drug possession laws in Washington, Grant County will be going ahead with such arrests. Grant County commissioners on Tuesday passed an ordinance saying that possessing a controlled substance in the county remains a crime and it will be enforced. On February 25th, the state Supreme Court ruled by a 5-4 vote that the state's felony drug possession law is unconstitutional. The ruling applies to simple possession and not possession of large quantities of drugs or the manufacturing of drugs. Grant County Sheriff Tom Jones said the legislature's failure to act after the court ruling made the county's ordinance necessary. A Wenatchee man charged last year with stalking his former spouse will now spend a year in jail, that after pleading guilty to lesser offenses. 48-year-old James Michael Savoy entered a plea Wednesday to violating a no-contact order in Chelan County Superior Court. Wenatchee police say Sauvé reportedly contacted his former wife and harassed her on social media despite a judge's order put in place 2 years ago. He has 4 previous convictions for violating such orders, as well as unlawful imprisonment and extortion. It's the second time Sauvé has received a 12-month sentence for similar crimes. He's been held in the Chelan County Jail since his arrest back in October. One day after visiting Wenatchee's mass vaccination center, Governor Jay Inslee made 2 million more Washington residents eligible for COVID-19 vaccinations. Restaurant staff, construction workers, and anyone aged 60 or older will now qualify beginning March 31st. So will all people with two or more people and anyone living in congregate settings such as prisons and group homes, as well as those who are homeless. Inslee also extended the state's moratorium on evictions through June 30th and said visitors can once again enter long-term care facilities to spend indoor time with their loved ones.
So I'm announcing today that outdoor visitation will still be preferred for folks. But in any situation where either the resident of a long-term care facility or their guest are vaccinated, our folks will now be able to have indoor visitation. So if your mother is in a facility and she is vaccinated and you are not, you still will be able to visit with her indoors. If you are vaccinated and she is not, you will be able to visit her indoors. And the reason for this is we believe there's substantial confidence that these vaccines reduce the transmission rates of individuals besides saving their lives. So we're very excited about this because we know this has been so difficult for our folks in these long-term care facilities to be isolated, as it is for us. And we believe the progress we have made has allowed us to do this. Again, being able to do this is because Washingtonians are wearing masks, because they're complying with social distancing.
And as we go to break, the state of Washington is investing a $3 million package of low-interest loans and grants into Microsoft's planned development near Pangbourne Airport. The money from the Washington Community Economic Revitalization Board will help the East Wenatchee Water District construct a pump station to service the 110 acres Microsoft purchased in July of 2020. The new facility is a $50 million project for the software giant and is expected to produce 60 new information tech jobs for Douglas County over the next 5 years. Coming up next, Representatives Schreier and Newhouse both voted yes on the Farm Labor Guest Worker Act. The Forest Service says any volunteer group or government agency that has an idea for an improvement project in the Okanagan-Wenatchee National Forest can now apply for funds to make that project happen. And the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival Junior Royalty for Festival 2021 was announced yesterday at their respective schools, and we'll tell you who they are. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
As our students return to learn, the need is great for all positions in the Wenatchee School District. Can you see yourself in these hallways? Or helping support students? Maybe you're an excellent office administrator or educator, or you have a love of sports. The Wenatchee School District is now hiring all levels of positions. You can make the difference in the life of a student and in your own life. Apply now at wenatcheeschools.org.
Make being home fun again. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa has just what you need to bring fun back into your backyard. We have a wide selection of artesian spas and swim spas, new and used, to choose from. We are happy to announce we are now selling Rainbow Kids play structures with 50 models to choose from. To help finish off your entertainment area, we have patio furniture and Komodo Joe grills. At Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, we have just what you need to bring family fun and entertainment to your backyard. Stop by today.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
At Winco, we do everything. Everything. Everything to save you money. Top quality and no membership fees ever. Winco.
Now in Wenatchee at 1340 North Wenatchee Avenue.
Welcome back. In another news, North Central Washington's 2 Congress members found themselves on the same side of 2 major bills this week. 8th District Democrat Kim Schreier and 4th District Republican Dan Newhouse both voted in favor of the Farm Workforce Modernization Act, which would reform the H-2A visa program and allow foreign guest workers to achieve legal resident status, and the Dream and Promise Act, which creates legal status for DACA recipients and other immigrants seeking protection. Both bills passed with bipartisan support. They must now be heard in the Senate. The Forest Service says any volunteer group or government agency that has an idea for an improvement project in the Okanagan-Wenatchee Forest can now apply for funds to make that project happen. The money for the projects come through the Secure Rural Schools Fund, which has spent almost $12 million on such efforts in the region over the past 20 years. Past projects have included trailhead relocations, weed control, and construction of trail bridges, among others. Proposals are due by April 19th and can be submitted through the Okanagan-Wenatchee National Forest website. The Washington State Apple Blossom Festival Junior Royalty for Festival 21 was announced yesterday at their respective schools. This year's junior royalty are Queen Eve Hunter, who is at the River Academy. Princess Maxine Matheson is also at the River Academy, and this year's princess is Morgan Neunenschwander from Washington Elementary. 62 essays from 5th grade girls in the Wenatchee and Eastmont school districts, public, private, and virtual essays were received on the topic, "Have you ever wondered?" Some of the activities the junior royalty will take part in with the 2021 royalty include touring Rocky Reach Dam, film a curator video about apple blossom with the museum, ride on the Princess Float for the Stamilt and Kai's Fiber Community Parade on June 12th, and attend the Autumn Leaf Festival Parade coming up in September. You're watching the NCW Life Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCW Life Evening News. Please stay with us.
So Pam, how's your mom doing?
She's okay. She's struggling. She'd like to stay in her house, and it's getting harder for her to do the daily chores.
What kinds of problems is she having?
Just basic house cleaning, taking care of her house, yard work, taking care of her medicine.
It does sound exhausting.
It is very exhausting, and I always worry about her.
Aging and Adult Care can assist you or your loved one to remain comfortably and safely in their own home. Contact them today to start the conversation.
At Winco, we're working to save you money. Every aisle, every department, every day. Winco.
For almost 30 years, Link has been providing transit service to Chelan and Douglas counties. Now Link wants your input to make your transit system even better. Our region is growing in leaps and bounds, and public transit needs to improve to keep pace with this growth. We want to make public transit more efficient, more accessible, and more convenient for the people we serve. But we can't build a better system without you. So please make your voice heard and tell us how transit service can be designed to best serve you by taking our survey at www.movinglinkforward.com. Link Transit, your way to go.
At Winco, we do everything, everything to save you money. Winco.
Welcome back to the NCW Life Evening News. In tonight's feature story, the epidemiologist tracking the COVID-19 pandemic for the state of Washington says he's cautiously optimistic about our recovery, except for a few things. The base rate of new cases keeps getting larger after each wave of outbreaks, and the patients are getting younger.
The additional concern is this emergence of, right now, of the younger age case rates, which very concerning given our opening our phases to phase 3, a higher base rate, this predominance of younger age groups, and the emergence of variants in the state. Very concerned what all this means, and that is why I say I'm cautiously optimistic, but this is something that DOH is doing every day, really watching the epidemiology around these concerns. The variants, we are very aggressively looking for variants. A large portion of all our positive cases are getting genetically sequenced. So as of a little over a week ago, our state public health lab has started doing gene sequencing. We also have contracts in place with labs to do gene sequencing. And in the month of February, we actually sequenced 6% of all our positives. That is a very large amount, and that really puts us in the top 3 states in the United States since the beginning, how many cases we've actually genotyped. So that's impressive. I very much assume we will be the top state soon for the percentage of all cases that we do genotyping. With that comes the knowledge of what our genotype data shows us in the way of variants. And we are up to 156 variants in the state at this point, which is a very large number. It's very concerning, and we are watching it. The nice news is we have not seen big trends in more severe disease or death or hospitalizations in this first group of variants that we're looking at. Again, we are cautiously optimistic where we are right now. But it is not time to let down your guard. It is a time to get vaccinated. It is a time to continue to wear masks, to space yourself 6 feet, and also wash your hands.
Time now for a check of your north central Washington weather forecast on this final day of winter. That's right, the last day of winter, and it kind of looked like it out there. Even a few light showers fell. A lot of that is virga, which means it's precip that doesn't quite make it to the ground, but it looks like spring, and it looked like a late winter day out there today, but a beautiful shot provided by Localtel and Sky-Fi. It's up on Wenatchee Heights. We call it our cross camera. Unofficially, high temperature today, way below yesterday, 54 unofficially, but that's right on target pretty much for where we should be this time of year. Yesterday, by the way, 62 degrees, our unofficial high temperature, by far the warmest day we've seen so far this year. 37 was our morning low today, 36 is normal. Record high was set back in 1999 at 68 degrees, record low 19, and that was in 1965. I'm sure you noticed a little bit of sprinkle and misty rain last night. 4/100ths of an inch of precipitation reported at Pangbourne Airport. That now gets us to 2.58 inches for the year. That's still about 3/10 above where we should be for this time of year. Sunrise 7:05, sunset tonight is at 7:13. Let's take a peek at how our Saturday shapes up. Our first day of spring, by the way, the equinox happens at about 2:37 a.m., so very early tomorrow morning. And temperatures pretty much will feel like the first day of spring. Cooler for all of us, mid to upper 50s in the Columbia Basin, 53 in Wenatchee and Cashmere, 54 the high temperature tomorrow up at Lake Chelan. Let's take a look now at what we can expect over the next 7 days. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies, might be a bit breezy as this area of low pressure continues to spin just off the northwest coast of Washington. Also have high pressure beginning to build in. We'll talk more about that in a second, but tomorrow might be a little bit breezy. We're talking winds maybe 10 to 20 miles an hour at times, partly cloudy skies. I think it'll be less windy in the Wenatchee Valley than it will be over in the Columbia Basin. For Sunday, mostly cloudy skies. We will see a bit cooler temperatures. Our flow, once again, back to a zonal westerly flow, and we could see a 40% chance. We're talking early morning Monday showers, and that could mean also some morning showers as we begin Monday. And yes, we could see some snowflakes as flying around on Monday morning, but by the time we get into the afternoon Monday, our skies will turn mostly sunny, and temperatures really not bad to start, but we will see a warm up as we get into Tuesday. Partly cloudy skies, but here's that area of high pressure dragging all of that warm air up and then bringing it right back into Washington. So temperatures will be about normal, and that's, as you just saw, about 56 degrees. And then by Wednesday, our high pressure area kind of gets scrunched down a little bit, and that allows this low to move down. So we will see showers, I think, during the day, and then temperatures once again on Wednesday, pretty seasonal with highs in the mid-50s. Let's take a look now as we get into your 7-day forecast. 34 tonight, 53 with breezy conditions tomorrow. We'll see 51 with a 40% chance of mainly late night showers. Monday, a little bit of morning rain and 53, and then we warm right back up to normal on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday with highs then in the mid to even upper 50s. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
It's March, and Click It RV Moses Lake has gone mad with huge discounts on a huge selection of top brand RVs, which means the lowest prices, factory incentives, and rebates.
You guys gotta beat the spring rush and get in here now.
Shop online and find the floor plan you like, then build it, price it, and click it. Or come to our huge selection, from travel trailers to fifth wheels, toy haulers to motorhomes. The huge indoor-outdoor RV show is here. Get a better RV and the lowest price guarantee only at Click It RV Moses Lake and ClickItRV.com.
Be a winner like me and get to Click It RV.
Mary Maids of Wenatchee has been professionally cleaning and sanitizing homes and businesses in north central Washington since 1998. Mary Maids uses commercial-grade cleaners and viricides. Mary Maids has implemented additional safety and sanitation protocols. They are strictly following CDC guidelines for the safety of their clients and employees. For expert help with cleaning and sanitizing your home or business, call or look up Mary Maids of Wenatchee to schedule your free estimate today.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a good Friday to you. We start our sports with tragic news out of Brewster. Brewster High School standout athlete and all-star basketball player Cass Gebbers has passed away. The school district's Facebook page reads, quote, "The Brewster Bear family lost one of its own yesterday. Cade Gebbers will forever be remembered as a loving son, great friend, and wonderful teammate. He brought so much life, joy, and charisma to those that knew him on and off the court. He will be sorely missed, and our hearts are broken. Prayers for their family and our community are greatly appreciated," end quote. The 6'3" senior led Brewster to the 2B state championship last year and was the MVP All-League, MVP All-State Tournament, and 2B Player of the Year. He carried a 3.9 GPA and was entertaining offers from numerous colleges to continue his basketball career. Cade Gebbers was 19. No word on how he passed. The Pear Bowl came to be when the editors of the Cashmere Valley Record and Leavenworth Echo decided the annual rivalry game between Cashmere and Cascade deserved a trophy to the winner. Cascade won the first ever Pear Bowl in 1991, 26-21. Since then, the series and trophy have been dominated by Cashmere, with the Bulldogs winning 18 out of the next 26 meetings. In 2019, the Kodiak snapped a 4-year run by Cashmere, winning 33-28. This is an extremely prideful moment for the players and coach who called the Leavenworth School home.
You know, we've had the feeling of them taking it every year for a while now, just that 2014 year. So now that it's here, we want to keep it here, and I'm just going to keep running with my head down and keep working because it wasn't a fluke. We worked hard, and I think we worked hard for this one, so we're going to go in and try and get a win.
Nothing's normal about this week. There's more energy, there's more excitement. We're ready to just go tear heads. We're ready to go.
Okay, what's going to be key for you guys, do you think, to be able to come out on top?
We're just going to have to make plays on offense and hold them on defense and go out there and play hard.
Kodiak coach Dominic Coffin is trying to focus his team on fundamentals and not overhyping the game, but he also knows what's on the line.
Yeah, in a rivalry game, it's always different. I mean, it's every year. It doesn't matter what records are; those are thrown out the window. I mean, it's Cashmere versus Cascade. It's always going to be a battle, and for us, it's really controlling the ball and making sure we take care of it, and winning the turnover battle will be huge.
So we talked to two guys that I know you're leaning on to play well for you. What else needs to happen for you in order to win this game?
Our defense is going to have to show up. I mean, they have a very big offensive line, so our D-line is going to really have to stay low. DBs are going to have to play smart as their quarterback's really good, and then offensively, it's just making sure we can consistently move the ball, making sure we're not going 3 and out. I mean, that's where you kind of lose your momentum. So really keeping drives going.
Now for the team down the Wenatchee River 11 miles, losing that trophy in 2019 has helped focus their drive this week.
Yeah, that's firing us up. We want that Pear Trophy back, so having that back means a lot to our school.
I know tradition runs real deep for both of these programs, especially for Cashmere, and you guys had dominated that series for so long, and then you lose that. Was that something that is shocking? Is it, oh boy, that's a wake-up call for you guys?
It really was. I mean, last year we have the same team. We were pretty good, and we just did not perform that day, so losing that trophy does really mentally affect you. It just makes you kind of angry inside about it.
Cashmere coach Brian Bremer was just in his second year leading the program when they lost to Cascade. He admits it haunts him to this day.
No, I told the guys in our Monday meeting that out of all the games in my 2 years here, that's the one I'm still not over. And that's bad to say, but I was pretty vulnerable with those guys. That's the one that's just, it just sticks in my mind. I probably still will until I retire. Just a difficult way to lose, and these guys are ready for the challenge. I'm ready for the challenge, and I can't wait to watch these guys play. You know, and I tried to hide from it my first couple of years here, was really just like, you know, there's no game too big, you know, and it's just really just another football game, but it's not. Yeah. I mean, it means a lot to this community, to both communities, and again, it's just so much fun to play for something like that. You know, to play for a trophy, to play for something where both communities are so involved and love it so much, whether it's football, whether it's just community against community for bragging rights, that's special. That's really fun.
We'll have the 28th Pear Bowl between Cascade and Cashmere tonight here on the NCWLIFE channel. Grant and I will begin our pregame at 6:30, kickoff set for 7 o'clock. Waterville-Mansfield kicked off the football weekend last night on the road at Soap Lake. The Eagles trailed 32-18 at the end of the third, but came storming back to win at 46-40 and hand the Shockers its first loss of the season. Soap Lake improved to 2-1 with a win. 2/3 of the football weekend will be played around the region tonight as Eastmont travels to Moses Lake. Wenatchee hosts powerful Royal Knights. There you see the Cascade and Cashmere game here on the NCWLIFE channel. Manson travels to Lake Roosevelt while Luke is scheduled to play at Brewster. Quincy hosts Omak and Bridge Bridgeport visits Elmira Cooley Heartline. All those games kick off at 7 o'clock. Coming up Saturday, Etihad hosts Libertyville, while Tonasket visits Oroville at 1 o'clock. Then at 7, Ephrata hosts Chelan. It's a busy weekend for volleyball around the region. Let's see what's going on. Wenatchee and Cashmere play at Cascade. Eastmont and Ephrata gather at Omak. And Moses Lake and Chelan play at Quincy High School. Royal and Manson head for Lake Roosevelt. Waterville Mansfield will host Elmira Cooley Heartline and Wilson Creek. Bridgeport and Moses Lake Christian visit Soap Lake. And not to be left out, up at Tonasket, the Tigers play host to Liberty Bell and Okanagan. We have a great soccer match coming up tomorrow here live on the NCWLIFE channel. The 6-0 Eastmont Wildcats host the 5-1 Wenatchee Panthers at Wildcat Stadium at 1 o'clock. Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wisen have your play-by-play, the pregame at 12:50. In other action coming up tomorrow at 11 o'clock, Cascade travels to Okanagan while Chelan hosts Omak. Other 1 o'clock games besides Eastmont and Wenatchee have Moses Lake hosting Ephrata, Quincy's at Cashmere, Warden entertains Brewster, and Pateras travels to Bridgeport. Well, Gonzaga will face Norfolk State in the first round of the NCAA men's basketball tournament. That's tomorrow night at 6:20. Norfolk State beat Appalachian State 54-53 in the first four to advance. Earlier in the day tomorrow, Eastern Washington will face Kansas. That's a 10:15 morning game on TBS. The Zags game also, by the way, on TBS. Well, the NCAA women's basketball tournament gets underway Sunday for Washington State as the Cougars face South Florida in the first round at 6:30 on ESPN2. Gonzaga's off until Monday when it faces Belmont at 1 o'clock on ESPN2. That's a look at sports news. That's a lot to get to. See you at football tonight. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And as we leave you on this Friday night, Mayor Jerilee Crawford of East Wenatchee set an example yesterday by getting her COVID-19 vaccination and doing it for a Facebook video released by the city. The mayor became one of just over 10,000 Douglas County residents who've received at least one coronavirus shot. Her Pfizer vaccine dose was administered at the Town Toyota Center mass vaccination site in Wenatchee. Now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up Monday morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thanks, Grant. I hope everybody enjoys the coming of spring this weekend. And come Monday morning, we expect to see you right here for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll have highlights of tonight's pair bowl between the Kodiaks and the Bulldogs. We'll also have highlights of the Wenatchee Panthers and the Eastmont Wildcats girls soccer teams. They will do battle on the pitch on Saturday afternoon. We'll have that game for you as well here on the NCWLIFE channel. Whatever news happened over the weekend, that important weather forecast for the first full week of spring, everything you need to start your day here in the Wenatchee Valley in north central Washington, we provide it to you for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll see you Monday morning live at 7 a.m. And Grant, I'll see you tonight in Cashmere. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Dan. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around north central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great weekend.
Gentlemen, I'm Kerry Condata. This is the 12th District TV show, aired 8 times every week on NCWLIFE TV. We cover business and politics like no one else does it because I've been there and done it. 30 years self-employed, 16 years in the House of Representatives, and 12 years running campaigns across the state of Washington. That resume means you're getting information you can't get anywhere else. This is the 12th District. I'm Kerry Condata.
Hi, this is Brian Snyder with BlackRock Asphalt Services here in Wenatchee, your local BlackRock seal coat company. Have you looked at your driveway or parking lot lately? Is it gray and oxidized? Does it have cracks that have not been taken care of? Or do you have striping that is pretty much non-existent? Please give us a call locally here, 509-665-9769. Learn more at blackrockasphaltsealcoating.com.
For all the latest news in north central Washington, go to ncwlife.com or find us on Facebook. Got a news tip? Email us at news@ncwlife.com or call 888-2020.